when you kind of look at the Jewish tradition, and you look at the Israelites, and also going back to the story of Adam and Eve, and that dynamic of God's giving them the directive to populate and essentially steward the world. Like, how would you tie in that tradition's resources into this conversation of geographic sovereignty, or would you?
Well, I think we could. What I would say, and this is what I argue in my second book, We Answer to Another, Authority, Office, and the Image of God, that the image of God at the very beginning constituted a kind of grant of authority, a grant of authority to God's image to human beings, over each other to a very large degree, depending on the office, the specific office that we hold, but over the rest of creation as well. And so authority is always authority under. So we are authorized to do something. We have authority. We are authorized. But if we are authorized, that always implies that there is someone or something that authorizes to do that
Mm-hmm.
thing. So authority, for us who are believers, are Christian believers, we believe that all authority comes from God. Now, in the early modern era, sovereignty was seen as something that originates with a sovereign. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a way, in many respects, of a kind of protest against God. We no longer believe that God, well, maybe he exists, but maybe he's very far away. This is what the deists believe.
Yeah.
That God has set the world in motion. He's retired from the scene and watching
He's not
everything
directly
happen.
intervening day to day, so to speak. Yeah.
No, that's right. Yes. So
Yeah.
that we are sovereign. We have this kind of kind of godlike rule over the earth and over other human beings. And sovereignty came to be very important for the early modern thinkers. People like Thomas Hobbes, Jean Baudin in France, Hugo Grotius, or Herk de Groot as the Dutch would call him.
Yeah.
That sovereignty is very important for understanding politics.
But if they are distancing themselves from or eliminating God as sovereign, what are they basing their theories upon? What foundation are they working from?
Well, this is where individuals come in, because in
Mm-hmm.
the early modern liberalism, but where is authority going to come? Where is sovereignty going to come? Well, it turns out it comes from the people in some sense. So
Mm-hmm.
even Thomas Hobbes, who favors this a very strong single ruler who will be able to lord it over the people. In the frontispiece of the Leviathan, which is his book that he published in the middle of the 17th century, in the Leviathan, if you look at the illustration in the frontispiece, you see this ruler, um, this giant who's towering over the landscape. But if you look at him more carefully, you'll see that he is made up of crowds of people, crowds of human beings. And
Yeah.
this is the way that Hobbes recognized that somehow sovereignty comes from the people. Hobbes was by no means a Democrat, but much later, the implications of Hobbes' worldview, of his philosophy, were taken in somewhat different directions by John Locke and Jean-Jacques Rousseau in France.